All right, it is 3:32. We will go ahead and get this Finance and Economic Development Committee going. It is Wednesday, March 4th, and let's go ahead and call the roll.
Barrow,
Yes.
Gonzalez,
Yes.
Peppelmeyer,
Yes. And Councilman Barrow is here via phone, so.
I apologize, I had my time wrong. We have one person at work. It's me.
Oh,
If I was later, I had people come. I blew the time of the meeting by mistake.
no worries, it happens. Okay, but you're here in spirit, so we're all good. Okay.
Phone.
All right, so for the agenda here, I think we have Matt Miles from the Water Department, and he is going to present
Capital. Failed projects.
capital projects. Sorry.
There you go.
Sorry. So, there we are. Yeah, let's do that first. All right, so from capital projects, we're going to talk about the sewer building and how exactly rough it is.
Good afternoon. So we've been asked to present concerning the sewer building and potentially for our proposal to have a new facility constructed to house the sewer department. The existing facilities located at 212 Illinois Avenue. The best of my research ability, it looks like it was constructed in 1948 and housed a number of different businesses until it was acquired by the city in 1974. I'm not sure exactly what all the city has used it for over the years. I do know that it housed municipal operations during the construction of this building, and at some point was either turned over or was already inclusive of the sewer department. The building, quite frankly, has simply reached its end of life. This is a picture of the front of the building from Illinois Avenue on the upper right-hand corner. Some of these other shots are showing how deteriorated the exterior of the building has become. It was stuccoed at one point, but obviously the effervescence from the block that's beneath it has pushed out. The mortar is deteriorating, and the stucco is completely coming off. You'll notice in the upper left-hand corner, they've actually had to apply some OSB to protect the interior of a portion of the block wall. On the west elevation, we see much the same. What you're seeing is a push off of the stucco caused by either direct water getting behind the block or effervescing through the block structure. Perhaps most concerning is this upper picture. Looks like just a crack. I know it's not the greatest picture, I apologize. That is actually at the base of the parapet wall at the top of the building, directly above the garage doors. The parapet wall is separating and leaning toward the roof of the building. Eventually it will fall off, and we don't know if the roof can actually support the block. We'll have that investigated to make sure we don't have safety concerns over that. The interior of the building, in the upper left-hand corner, you'll notice some like black streaking. That's along the ceiling line on the interior of the wall. It's actually coming from the roof. At some point in time, it appears that a tar pitch was used to repair the roof. Now, when it gets warm enough, the tar pitch actually drips through the hole. One would think that was a self-healing membrane and it would work great. However, that's not the case. It leaks water along with the black asbestos material. The doors are not fitting well. Additionally, there appears to be some structural question where the beams are going through the support walls. There in the upper right-hand corner. The lower left is the loss of a ceiling panel due to water damage through yet another water leak. Basically, the building is, in my opinion, it's barely habitable. Does not house the current equipment. We have a lot of things stored outside, millions of dollars of equipment stored outside. We also had actually, I must have lost a slide because I had pictures, I'm sorry, of, we have our materials stored outside as well as things that have been torn out, old castings, et cetera. It's not keeping in line with our MS4 requirements for EPA with that outside storage. As a proposal, we have put together using a portion of the Mingo site, which is currently Police and Fire Training Center, for the new sewer facility. This proposed site plan would be able to utilize the existing infrastructure, would be able to utilize existing property to help keep down price. And we've designed based on a compact design in order to minimize the footprint and impact on other uses for the property. This plan would allow for covered material storage in the outside along the north line, along with a compliant fueling station for equipment and vehicles. This is a floor plan, basic floor plan of the building. Again, this is preliminary design. This particular design would allow for the inside storage of every piece of equipment that we currently own. As you can see, we have kept the building as tight as possible. This does not allow really for expansion over time other than parking between doors and utilizing space as necessary. Or perhaps one day, with luck, we won't need those pumps that we're utilizing currently, and we'll buy a couple of more bays that way. This also provides for adequate and appropriate maintenance areas for the workers out there to perform on the trucks, as well as a washing bay. You can imagine that sewer equipment can get relatively dirty during its operation of the day, and having a separate washing facility would help not only maintaining the equipment, but also in the health and safety of the personnel. Additionally, this provides adequate office space and training space for the people who are utilizing the building, as well as some shower, locker room style equipment that will allow them to clean up as necessary, either during the day or at the end of their shift. This is just basic elevations of what the current concept is. It's a pull-through style building to help avoid knocks and dings in the building, avoid having to back equipment into the structure. The upper picture is actually the end shot of the building, where currently the wash bay, maintenance bay, and pump storage is planned. When we first put this proposal together and I got the estimate back, I was a little surprised, frankly. As you can see here, this is a basic estimate for that structure to be constructed on that site at about $8.8 million. It's very expensive. It's about 25,000 square foot total. But further delays, I feel, would end up ultimately costing the city even more money over time. We have continuing and continuous maintenance expenses of the existing facility that far outweigh its current value as it sits. We have equipment of very high value that's sitting outside and losing its value and causing additional maintenance issues to it. We have staff that are exposed to poor working conditions, and we can only expect that the cost of materials will increase over time, as well as the cost of financing. The first vertical construction that I did with the city that I had anything to do with was development of the current service department. that was built during 2013, 2014 for about $5 million. And so I was kind of, in my head at least, using that to guess where our estimate was going to be, given that this is a 54,000 square foot building and we're only asking to construct about a 25,000 square foot building. The estimate still came in well above what I had expected. So I sent the drawings to a third party and commissioned an estimate to be done on the current cost of constructing that building so that we could compare better apples to apples rather than comparing across a 15-year difference. And what they came up with, what they returned to me, was an approximate construction value of $15.6 million. Basically, that means that that's 3 times as much, or it's moving up by an exponential every 3 to 4 years in cost. Further delays of building what will inevitably be required as a new sewer facility. Delays on that at this point in time are obviously very costly. Not only in materials, but as Jennifer and I have recently discovered, even delays as little as a year from a financing standpoint can cost hundreds of thousands of dollars in financing fees that could be, if performed in this year, could be rolled into the cost of financing that's already planned by the city, saving us those financing and basic down payment costs for the construction. The building is it's a preliminary design. Yes, $8.8 million is what it's valued at now. I can't ever promise that will go down, but we will conduct value engineering on the project throughout final design and bidding processes in order to reduce that as much as possible. It is my department's request that the building be considered for this year's capital improvement program.
All right. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Awesome.
Thanks, Matt.
So just being the absolute largest item on the potential capital budget, I definitely appreciate that you're doing this for the community too. So when people say, we paid what for what? Well, go watch the video. So, all right, cool. Any questions for Matt?
Not necessarily. I mean, I see the means of what we have, what needs to be done because it's inevitable. I mean, that building is falling apart and obviously becomes a safety issue, and we'll be required to eventually, no matter what. Jennifer, do you have any insight on where this is at in the budget? Like, if we have room or?
Yes, but I do want to just convey that when Matt brings something forward, he has exercised his due diligence and reviewed the quote thoroughly. So I have all the confidence in the world if he's recommending this, that we need to do that. With that being said, it will be supported by the sewer fund. I've been in contact with our bond counsel, as Matt indicated. We are going to be issuing debt here shortly for some other projects, like the water meters, for example, a sewer vehicle, assuming that council approves it. So the intent is to couple those items with the building. So we will repay that over a number of years, utilizing the sewer user fees for that over the long term.
Okay. And then timeframes. So if we approve it for March 31st, I guess, what are we looking at?
Actually, we just had a meeting yesterday with our bond counsel regarding timing. So it looks like initially we will issue notes to kind of buy us some time with some other projects that we're working on. So that legislation will be coming forth hopefully next week, the first reading of 3. So we will obtain a note, which is less expensive to issue rather than a bond. And that will help to bridge the gap between needing financing now for a few items and then finalizing a few other items. So issue a note, at a lower cost for a year, and then combine that with a large bond issuance in '27.
Okay. And then when it comes to like construction, like, I mean, very rough estimate date of when the building might start to be in operation.
Well, start of
Operation?
operation is probably, would, well, not probably, certainly would be in 2027. Optimally,
Okay.
we could move relatively quickly with final design, as we've spent considerable amount of time in preliminary. My hope would be to actually be able to get shovels in the ground before the frost, yet in '26, so that we could get foundations in and be able to work through the winter with raising the building. Completion wouldn't be until mid to late '27.
Yeah. Wasn't expecting this month.
Right.
So, okay. Cool.
Yeah, and I'll add that with the sewer debacle we have, we have to take, do something it's the next 20-year project. So it's almost, like I said, inevitable, it has to be done. If we can find a way, like you said, Jennifer, to move the money around to make sure that it's appropriated the right way, yeah, I don't mind recommending this to the council.
I do have-
Councilman Barrow, any comments?
Yeah, Jennifer, could you go over the finance, the money end of it again? It was a little not clear to the bell.
Okay,
Thank you.
initially, the city will need to issue a short-term note, only because of the timing with a few other items that we're needing to borrow for, and then we will combine it with a bond issuance next year.
Okay, great.
So I do have initial amortization schedules based on bond financing, so that would change slightly. And
Okay.
I plugged that into the forecast, and the
Okay.
user fees
Thank you.
will support it.
Okay. So I guess just general finance question then. So we're putting 8.8 million in this year's capital budget. If we're financing with bonds, how does that look with actual money coming out of our bank account for '26?
So there would be a timing. So we, obviously Matt's engaged with some preliminary design work. So we can sign what's called an official intent, which allows us to basically pay ourselves back of anything that we expend prior to being awarded the note or the bond.
Okay.
So, but it would need to be budgeted entirely. If we're going to award it in '26, it would be budgeted and encumbered in '26. But from a cash flow standpoint, we would sell the bonds, get the cash, and then expend the funds.
So we would expect to expend all 8.8-ish this year over the course of the year, or
Probably not, no.
27?
Yeah, I would assume we'd have a couple draws this year, and then a couple draws in '27.
Typically, the contractor would require a payment for materials every 30 days after the start of the project for materials delivered. And so the early payments, tend to be fairly robust as they're delivering large amounts of material. But we don't pay the labor until the installation is completed, so that would be spread out throughout '27.
Okay. Cool. All right. Once again, Matt, thank you so much.
Well,
So, all right, cool. So now, I jacked up the agenda a little bit here. Let's go ahead for other new business. We're going to talk about the facade grant program parameters. So last meeting, we talked a lot about what is actually going to be, and we decided that we're not going to venture into residential just because of the unknowns with the program itself, legalities, so on and so forth. So one thing that Finance Director Harkey recommended on her general finance recommendations is capping the amounts that council would approve for the year, which makes sense to me, so we can't, so again, and really, this is all going to go before council, so we can establish a number and award 0 if we don't think it's really necessary. So any thoughts on a number?
I just wanted to point out in 26, if you recall, we do have 180,000 budgeted that the city's already obligated.
All right, yes, so new money.
Yeah.
Yeah, new money.
Did we say,
Dave, when you say new money, I know Jennifer had moved up the threshold. Are you talking something outside of that?
So we already have the current facade grants authorized that are going to be getting paid out.
Right.
But again,
Yeah.
instead of just
Oh.
being able to go up to $60,000 and essentially get it, this is where council is going to need to approve any new facade grants. And I think, if I remember correctly, did we say 25,000? Is that a number I remember from last time?
that's what we had marked, yeah.
Yeah, so,
Yeah, and I made that revision based on the conversation last time.
okay, so I like that number. I think, and again, that's 50/50, right? So, okay,
Which in the future, we can always change it to see how it works this year, I guess. And if it works all right, then continue. If not, we could bump it up or down, wherever we go.
Sure, and as I stated before, you have a mechanism now to score and evaluate projects as they come across your desk.
Correct.
all right. Councilman Barrow? Any thoughts?
Nope, that's good.
All right, then, can I get a motion to approve the facade grant program parameters as recommended?
So moved.
I'll second.
All right, let's call the roll.
Barrow,
Did we get a second?
Yeah, we did, yes.
Okay, thank you.
Barrow,
Yes.
Gonzalez,
Yes.
Pupmeyer.
Yes. All right, cool. And then, last but absolutely not least, let's talk about the operating budget. Okay, so, Finance Director Harkey, do you want to start kind of taking us through your recommendations here?
Can I take a step back, though? Did we talk about are we good with the
Oh.
vehicle policy and the grant policy and the fund balance reserve policy?
Oh, we did not have that on here.
Oh, I'm sorry, I thought we did.
I mean, I thought we were good with
Okay.
the recommendations from before. Just with
Which ones?
Jennifer's, like, just all the finance policies, just really spelling out.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so,
Okay, thank you.
Councilman Burrow?
I think I pointed out to you, though, in the grant policy, there's no legal review, so we're going to skip that, or?
I'm sorry, would you ask me?
So Jennifer was asking if we're formally approving her recommendations just for policies and procedures. Alan, you said what's not in there?
No review for, no legal analysis, no law director review,
For the capital,
no for the grants.
for the grants?
I mean, that's fine. Again, I pulled a lot of it from GFOA best practices and other entities, but certainly if Alan wants to take a look.
Okay.
So that's something that's going to be added, Dave? I had my hand up too, by the way, Dave.
I mean, I feel comfortable adding that to the policies just for
Sure.
legal review.
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah, well, we're
Okay.
all about that now, so let's do that.
Yeah, okay. So do we need a motion to add that to the policies that Jennifer gave us before? To add legal review?
Recommend that Alan look at it, and then hopefully we can get that moving at the next council meeting.
Yeah, correct.
Yep. Okay. So, we need a motion on that, or we're just gonna give that to you?
1 second.
Okay.
Dave?
Yep. Yep, Rick.
Yeah, and I wanted to ask Alan a question, if I could.
Okay, we have a comment from the gallery here.
Comment and a question.
Oh, okay.
How much are you budgeting for the whole cycle? At $25,000 a grant, are you budgeting 200,000? Are you budgeting 50,000?
Right now, there's not any new money, as Dave called it, budgeted. It's only the old obligations.
Right, I know that you said 180,000 is already allocated for 2026. So how much is going to be allocated for the $25,000 grants? Is it open? Is there no floor, no ceiling?
No, as of right now, I think it's just, we're restructuring it and revamping it so that anyone can apply, but it still ultimately has to be approved by council.
Okay,
Well,
so-
I think what Rick is saying is, we can approve up to 25,000, but do we have a ceiling on how much per year we're willing to potentially approve?
Yeah, thanks. I heard it, but thanks for saying it again. So a little more clear.
So,
So, yeah, in the policy, it does say it's subject to appropriations, and I believe in there I put establishing an annual maximum too. But
Okay.
like I said, nothing is budgeted in '26 for this new program.
or for 27?
No.
Okay. Comment. Why? We have enough bills. We have a horrible bill for the sewage. Why are we frittering money away? We need to get our house in order. Spending this kind of money is ridiculous when we have $1 million, $21 million bill over our head. I was hoping, voting you guys in, that this could be paused for a couple of years. Divert the money and help the people. I mean, our water bills have gone up again, and they're gonna go up again next year. And we're handing money out free. I mean, are they paying back the whole grant, or is it only a 2 to 3 year payback and the rest is forgiven? Let's get smart here. We got enough bills. Sorry, I'm
Wasn't that
angry.
wasn't that rewritten, Jennifer, where they're liable for 50% of it now? You had a lot of parameters put in there. I'm trying to look through my papers that we had here. If they move, example, or move out or sell the place, they have to make the city whole. They get a lot of safety parameters in there in that respect. If you want to speak on that part of it.
Certainly, and also there's an evaluation method in there to consider the property value increases, if they are in line with the missions of the city. But again, it's a process to evaluate a request, because there was none before. So, like I said, the motion can be to approve the grant and simply just not award any. I mean, the awarding process is totally separate from establishing a process and a
Right,
procedure.
I understand that, but in the big picture, we got a hell of a bill.
so Rick, what I'll tell you is the days of blank checks being written are over.
Good,
Okay?
good. I'd
So-
like to see us focus more on taking care of some of those big bills that are coming down the road.
Yes. So the whole point of revamping this facade grant was that,
Oversight.
yes, and
Totally get
so
it.
before, things were being approved without council. And so obviously, yes, we have fiscal responsibility in mind. This is just setting up the process.
Okay.
And so there is a huge rubric.
Rubric.
So there's a huge checklist that we score things on and everything. So,
Which I support that. I
Yes,
just-
so-
Again, I'm just,
yep, it has been heard, my friend.
Thank you.
So, okay.
thank you.
And I'd like to add something on top of that too, Dave. Can you hear me all right?
Yep.
Okay, we weren't writing blank checks. Council was aware of the facade grants as they came in. Patrick sat down with us when we had our packet meetings, and so on and so forth. Was looking for a facade grant. I like the more parameters, more guardrails in place now. I do like that, and I like how it got beefed up a little bit. If how Jennifer came up with analysis when it increases the cost of the building, and we can look at more revenue, so on and so forth, real estate taxes, that type of thing. I did like that. And the parameters also put on there, if they move out, they didn't get the grant for nothing. The city didn't lose to get the payback. But it was never a blank check. It was just, and it wasn't throughout the council, but it was more informal on meetings that we had during our packet meetings, just so the public knows that.
What was the scoring mechanism?
That was it. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Gabe.
Was wondering what the scoring mechanism was.
All right. So speaking of capital budgets, so last time, as we were going through things, I think we kind of stopped at 150,000 when it came to the cost and everything. Did either of you want to ask any more questions or make any recommendations for all those items under 150,000?
I actually didn't get a chance to look at them because I was insanely packed, but it's, that's something that you said to me to look at. I'll have to look at them again or get a time to look at them. But if you have anything, feel free.
Oh, I do.
Dave's been firing off emails since 5 a.m.
Oh, I literally had an entire pot of coffee before 7:15 this morning, so. Okay, so I did ask all of our directors and everybody this morning just to clarify a few more things. There's obviously capital budget requests. They are requests. And so there's some things that I know are probably not going to be popular, but here are parts of the budget that I really think we should hold off on right now. The bike path at River Road for $90,000. I think we said we were going to be looking for grants.
I think we're obligated to do that, right, Matt? Yeah.
All right, so let's scratch that one, and this is why we go over.
That was a partnership with the Metro Parks that it was signed by the city.
Okay, there we go. All right, Rolfe Park fencing. Matt, did you find anything else about that?
Yeah, so that's just kind of been an item that's, for lack of a better term, been kicked down the road over the last several years, as far as I know. It's a maintenance item. It's for the fences that surround the softball fields at Rolfe Park. They're, 20-plus years old. They're showing their age. There's giant holes in some of the fences. The backstops are in disrepair. Foul balls are making their way through the fence, so it's not serving its purpose. The number is just really a rough estimate from what I can gather, because there's 2 years worth at $150,000. We did get some pricing to replace. I don't recall what all was going to be replaced with the fencing, but we wouldn't be able to do it all in 1 year. It just would cost too much to do all the fields. So the thought was that we would take obviously the ones that were in dire need, where there's a safety issue, and focus on those first. But I don't have any hard numbers to present.
Okay, all right, so there's safety issues with the fencing?
Correct.
Okay, all right, then that sounds good. Okay, the Walcott House Bandstand for $100,000.
So actually, the director over there just emailed me like in the last hour or so, and they have a good estimate now of $71,000, but they are applying for a grant of $50,000. So the city, essentially they're requesting that the city support the remainder, $21,000. And we do provide, we own the facilities over there, and we do provide maintenance on the facilities as well as operating support for them.
Oh, I like 21 better than 100, so.
Yeah.
Hey, Jennifer, I had a question on the Wilcott House. I know they had really done a really much better job of bringing in revenue over the last probably year and a half. How is that holding out, or following that path rather?
Yeah, I think they're doing a great job over there, and you're right. Under the new management, he's really tried to reinvigorate some programming to get donations in and get traffic into the museum. So yeah, they're doing great from my perspective.
Good, glad to hear that. Thank you.
Okay, and then next, we have a couple signs, one for the Epstein Park entrance for $20,000, and towpath wayfinding. Can we expand on what signs we're putting down there for just general direction?
So that was, that's
got it.
kind of,
All right,
I love wayfinding signs, and I think it would be appropriate to put in there, especially as we consider the disc golf area, whatever you want to call it.
Of course.
Yes, thank you.
where's that going to be?
On the west side of Conant, so the lower towpath between Conant and Ford.
Okay, so we're gonna clear out trees then, like between the tire path and the lower path, or?
So there would be no clearing of, the trees would be part of the course.
Okay.
That's part of the challenge of it. So
Right.
those are the obstacles you have to go around. Chief Sproul has met with,
Joe Cerrone.
okay, that guy, to kind of lay out the course so that it wouldn't impact the trees that are down there. at a very minimal cost to be able to get the course laid out with the existing grounds down there. Now, it would require, some clearing and grubbing of some of the smaller invasive weeds and what have you, so they could have some sort of a path to go. But as far as, any big demo for the site, it wouldn't be a cost.
Okay, all right. And so 9 or 18 holes?
18.
Nice. All right. I like all kinds of golf. Okay. So Epstein Park entrance sign, though. I think that's something we can probably, unless it's paid for with the TIF.
It would be paid for by the TIF, yes.
Okay, and the TIF has money?
Yes.
Okay, all right. So, again, we have other things going on with naming, so I guess that doesn't have to be spent immediately, right? We can figure out other things first.
As far as the Epstein Park sign,
Yeah.
we're not obligated for the development agreement, is that right? Just the path is obligation?
That's correct.
Okay.
Okay, all right. So I think maybe we should push that into the end of the year, maybe?
Okay.
Okay.
So keep it on the plan, but table it for a little while, is
Yeah.
what you're saying?
Yeah, okay. All right, police e-bikes. So there's a request for 3 e-bikes. Do we, obviously Chief Spro isn't here, but do we know anything about why we need e-bikes as opposed to regular bikes?
They have some already.
Okay.
So this is,
They have 2.
yes, they have 2 right now. He's requesting 3 additional ones. I think just because e-bikes are more popular now, as far as our police force on e-bikes I don't know, I guess,
Patrol.
patrol, thank you. And then obviously we have a lot more paths to patrol too. So I think that was the intention.
They're 18.
18,000 for 3 bikes.
So 6,000 apiece.
Right. Oh,
I think,
To see if I'm speaking over somebody, tell me to wait a minute, because I can't, some voices
you're
I
good.
can't hear.
You're good.
Thanks. I can see them from a perspective of the patrolmen doing their duties. I mean, just for example, they're going after somebody, they got to pedal to chase them, talk on the walkie-talkie, talk on the radio, and, try to keep up or follow somebody. I can absolutely see the advantage of, being a big advantage in doing their service.
Okay, all right, thanks,
That was
Dan.
it, thanks.
You don't
Yep, thank you.
Yeah.
Plus, they can go up to 30, 45 miles
Are
an hour.
you, does he have
Okay.
or the,
So they can go up to 30 to 45 miles per hour was a comment from.
Yeah, I heard that. I heard, thank you.
So, okay. All right, so there's that. We have a lot of things at Ford Field. So there's a request for a shed for $15,000, a dumpster surround for $15,000, and more benches for $11,850. So what kind of, are these just basically cosmetics? Are these new benches, replacing bad benches that are safety hazards?
So the benches were intended to go around the new playground. There are intentional bump outs put in the concrete so that we could put benches near the playgrounds for parents to sit while the kids use the equipment. I don't remember how many, 3 to 5, I think, was the total. There's debate on what benches we use. I think that price that you're looking at is probably based on the ones that we used uptown. We don't have to use those if we can find a better alternative. The fear is if you put something there that's not very heavy, that's going to walk away. Somebody's going to take it. And we can strap it down, but we've seen people just rip the straps right out of the ground. So the nice thing about those cast iron benches you see around are they're heavy and nobody wants to carry them. The shed is something that's was requested by Maumee Little League as part of our MOU with them. Basically, they have storage needs. It's similar. It'll be similar to the one that was built for the football fields. Same size, same style. And that foundation's already been put in by our service guys to save money. And we're looking at having Penna actually have a group of kids come out and help construct it, obviously with the guidance of their teachers and our supervisors. Yeah, well, we like cheap and free labor.
What else are teenagers for?
Right. I don't remember what the other item was.
Dumpster surround.
So, yes, by code, we're supposed to have our dumpster surrounded. That one's been kind of hiding behind that garage for some time now. We had originally intended to use the bin that was on the west side of the garage, but after we constructed that, and we tried to put the dumpster in there, Republic came out and they could not maneuver their truck around the new layout of the parking lot to get to the dumpster without destroying more things. So now we have to find a better solution to that. And the thought was we could do it pretty much adjacent to that bin. Like they would just pull straight in, grab the dumpster, dump it, and then they can back straight out into the parking lot. So,
Okay, and that's code that we have to have that.
That is
by
code.
something. Okay,
yep,
so I'm guessing that's the same for the West Muse dumpster surround?
same thing.
Same
Yep.
thing, all right.
Open.
Okay.
Not open.
All right, so
If you can find
next one, everybody wants a copier or a scanner.
Yeah, I mean, it's cost of doing business, right? I mean, it's a replacement cycle, so yeah, they're costly. Services, 8,000, finance is 11,000, so
Are they dead or are they,
their services
I
is
just sent you
dead.
that link.
Yeah.
It'll pop up here in a second.
Services is dead, finance, it's our primary copier, so we want to make sure that that's functioning properly. Oh,
Okay.
it's at the end of life.
end of
Yeah.
life? Okay, love that term. Okay. All right, the robotic lawnmower for $6,000 from the police.
This is Chief Sproul's baby. The intention is to serve as a test to see how it works, how it functions, and if it could be utilized in other areas of the city.
Okay, would this save us on mowing costs?
Not necessarily, because the area that he wants to test it right now is not currently maintained, the firing range.
Right, it's the back portion that's fenced off where they do the shooting range back there
Okay,
that nobody can get to except.
Matt, can you scroll down and then under police, the robotic mower, is that there?
Yeah, Chief Sproul's been trying to push these robotic mowers on other portions of town, so this is kind of his trial.
this is the trial, okay.
I can't remember what the acreage was that this small mower could do, but
I can't remember either. I'm
the
not,
thought was we could potentially start utilizing these in other areas to save costs.
I must
But we
have
don't
missed that
know
one.
what the downfalls are in the maintenance to something like that.
Yeah, the e-bikes are on there. Okay. All right, and then compost and food waste for $3,000.
So we believe was a
What was that
partnership.
again?
Compost and food waste.
Thank you. Okay, thank you.
So this is a partnership, I wish Nancy was here, she's been working on it, but a partnership with the Metro Parks to put essentially a dumpster surround in a compostable food waste area in the Metro Parks. But we do have a sponsor potentially, or somebody that's willing to donate the material to build the surround. So it's on Metro Park land within the city limits. We have somebody that would be willing to foot the cost for the surround. There would be an annual operating cost for that. The hope is, obviously, it's good for the environment, but also good as we're looking for refuse contracts in the future. If we get enough people participating, that it could reduce waste. Would it be,
Go ahead,
Sorry.
Gabe.
Thank you. You said the Metro Parks, so Side Cut would have a food collection bins, for lack of a better term, or a compost bin?
yes, on their property within the city limits?
Is that going to smell?
No,
Oh,
No.
no, rotting garbage is always pleasant.
no. Nope, it's a whole system that I'm not completely educated on, but it's a whole system that will not stink and will not draw rodents. No. It's contained. And then there's a company, the operating cost portion of it is a company who comes in and empties it out. Residents could use whatever bucket that they have. And I know Nancy was working with the Rotary to see if they would purchase buckets, like 150 buckets to hand out, just to get people excited about the program.
And is that in the $3,000?
The buckets, no, that's just the fencing, and then there's some signage in there too.
Okay. All right, and then the finance refrigerator for $2,000.
It's dying as well. And additionally, we cannot open the freezer side. It's a, whatever, that kind of.
Side by side.
I'm so sorry, I'm so tired. It's that kind of fridge, and you can't open the freezer other than this little amount. So my staff has requested a new refrigerator.
Okay.
And I have been shopping. I think we could get it less than 2,000.
I was going to say, I can go to Home Depot right now.
Well, it's narrow. It's a weird size. Like
Yeah.
the opening is pretty narrow.
All right. If we can get that for less than 2,000, that'd be awesome. So-
Yeah.
Okay.
I do believe that they also want an ice maker. The ice maker died. So there's the cost, yeah.
All right. And then last but not least, the stair climber for the fire department. So is that like the stair climber you see at the gym, or?
Yes.
Okay, all right. Is there any, so I'm assuming there's other gym equipment in the fire station, right?
We have that, we have other air climber, those, what it allows fire.
Mm-hmm.
Act. Consistently,
Okay, so they would get
Some
fully
training.
geared up, and then,
yeah, absolutely, or they don't have to. It's, so- Anytime I want to make.
okay. Okay. So yeah, if we can maybe check out with local gyms, see if they're looking to buy something new and we could purchase the old one, that'd be kind of cool. All right, cool. All right, so those are the last questions I had on the capital budget. Any other questions, Gabe or Isaiah?
I did have one, but I don't have it in front of me. I can call Jennifer later and get that answered to me.
Okay. All right. Seeing none, let's go ahead and move on to the operating budget. And so I will let Jennifer kind of take it away and go through her analysis and recommendations here.
So I did send everybody a revised budget summary this afternoon, along with my letter stating my recommendations and my concerns. My concerns haven't changed much recently, nor have my recommendations. But as far as recommendations, we've already talked about the mowing and subcontracting and bringing that in-house, but balancing that cost with new hires and outsourcing. We've addressed a lot of these, actually. The facade grant was one of my concerns of having it, 60,000 with no parameters. So I'm happy to see that that's moving forward. The trees, taking a pause from that program. Obviously, we still have a substantial financial obligation this year, about 300,000 that we're obligated to spend because of watering contracts that were signed and approved last year. Within that 300,000 is 100,000 of trimming that actually has been the same for years and years and years. Something that we'll have to keep an eye on and consider as we have so many more trees to maintain. If they're maintained properly, the cost would be lesser than having to remove a large tree or that sort of thing. Additionally, we've discussed a wage study, which I think is really important. Not only a wage study, but a gap analysis to look at our staffing and identify those gaps and vacancies where needed. I've continued to revise the budget since it was first presented, the operating budget. It was first presented and discussed last fall. We went through several public meetings where we discussed payroll and benefits, insurance specifically. Insurance is a tremendous cost. We've talked about this before too, that the city is self-funded. So what that means is when any one of our employees or their dependents goes to the doctors, we are getting the bill for that. Between the deductible and $125,000, we're paying for that. So our HR manager is looking for some alternatives. Discuss perhaps joining a consortium where there's a bigger pool, so potentially saving some costs for that. Let's see, what else? We talked about the A fund. That's our, primary source of revenue and expenditures for a lot of our departments. So it is, we are expending it quicker than we are receiving revenue, and for that, our expenditures are outpacing our revenues. This is not me yelling from the rooftops that the sky is falling. These are just the numbers as they came in. I feel like this budget does not have a lot of cushion or fluff in it, and we will likely expend 90 to 95% of those operating budgets. Capital is always a little challenging just because the timing sometimes of projects. But as far as our operating budgets, I anticipate we spend 90 to 95% of the budgeted amount. With that being said, too, I have continued to revise our payroll budget, specifically the vacancies. So when we started out, I had, vacancies budgeted for the entire year. Obviously, we're in March now, so I've reduced that accordingly because I don't want to artificially inflate our expenditures either, our appropriations either. So, so apart from our expenditures outpacing our revenues, there's some legislation out there now regarding the property tax, which some people may have heard about. I hope it doesn't come to fruition, but if it does, we would stand to lose some millage for our fire department, for general fund, our police pension. So I think it is time that council consider looking at our income tax, at least start to have those conversations, especially as we're exercising our due diligence and reducing expenditures where we can and being mindful of taxpayer dollars. Our income tax rate right now is 1.5%. We offer 100% credit, so those people that work outside the city, we give them credit on their taxes here. About 75% of our residents work outside of the city, and about 60% of that 75% work in jurisdictions with an income tax rate higher than 2%, for example. So the large portion of residents wouldn't be impacted if council does consider any sort of income tax issue. Our seniors' retirement income, Social Security, is not taxed by the municipal income tax. So there's a lot of things for council to consider. I provided my summary to you as well, based on those things that we just talked about. Our income tax A in our general fund is starting off about 14 million and estimated to end at about 10 million. So if we forecast that out a couple of years, that's where my alarm is. We do obviously have some development coming. Metropolitan Holdings with the apartments, there's estimated to be, or there's scheduled to be 510 units in there. Multiply it by 2 by working individuals. If you apply then how many people work in the city and outside the city. And then there's some movement out at Fallen Timbers. So between those two, we will see some income tax, 400 to 600,000 beginning in 27. Obviously not enough to make up for the shortfall. We're also not going to be receiving any property tax from those properties for a number of years as well, coupled then with the legislation concerning property taxes. So I have some concerns that I would like council to consider, especially as we're making these decisions. And this next year of a rebuilding year, too.
But
Sorry, that was a lot.
No, that's great. Okay, bless you.
Thank you.
All right, Councilman Barrow? Yep, go ahead.
Thank you. Thanks, Dave. Jennifer, I had a couple questions. And maybe I missed it if it was supposed to be earlier, I apologize for it. But the health insurance for employees, is that remaining the same? That's not been any proposal brought up to change that, has it been?
No, that's correct, but we do want to get ahead of it. It seems like every year at renewal, there's just no time to look for alternatives, so our.
I remember that.
Yeah, our HR manager's just trying to get ahead of it.
And then the hourly rate, that's not being looked at, or, I know we have to pay prevailing wages for areas around us, but that's not being looked at, is it? As in changing that, as in lessening anything?
Looking at staff wages, is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, staff.
No, but I think that'll be the result of the wage study. Additionally, I forgot to mention this, though, our additional compensation, which is pretty tremendous, is $345,000 this year. Those are all the extras that everyone receives for their employee stipend, their licensure stipend, their sick time payout, vacation bonus, et cetera. So that's something else that council could consider.
Okay, and then the last one is the Fat Friday, for lack of a better term. Can you explain what that is,
Yeah.
unless you don't know what it is?
Yeah, that's the additional compensation that I just mentioned. So Fat Friday is payout of sick time, bonus vacation time for not taking sick time, education licensures, stipend licensures, uniforms, that sort of thing.
Yep. And
None
actually,
of that's changing.
well, and so that's one thing that, I was definitely looking at. Coming from the private sector, a lot of this stuff seems astronomically wow. But yeah, so is that something that we can discuss more with the employee and community relations committee?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, because I definitely
Okay,
think that we need to get a lot of handle on those costs. Yes, there's benefits to working in government, but there should be a limit to the benefits of working in government.
Right.
Okay, Councilman Gonzalez, any questions?
Nope.
Okay. I guess I do have one thing I would like to discuss is regarding the three positions for fire EMS. I know that there's been a lot of discussion on fire staffing, pay, overtime, things like that. So Chief Lopachevsky, could you explain exactly why we need to get to that 8 people on shift, 5 individuals in the firehouse? Why do we need the 3 new positions, the part-time versus full-time? Can you just explain a little bit of that as to why? That would be great, yes. Or not that. Oh, shoot. All right. Dun, dun, dun.
And this could be pushed to the ECR meeting too, right? Yep. Well, if you're running out of time, sorry, if you're running out of time.
Okay, all right. So if you can give us a brief explanation.
Sure. I think the most important message I would have is the recommendations that were made prior to the levy being passed, and that the levy was built upon a staffing model. In that staffing model, the target goal at the time was 8 per shift, which would be 24 full-time. That was supported by the council at that time and the mayor at that time. As Mayor McDonald reiterated back in October, he still wanted to reach that target, and it seemed like the support of council in the fall as well. So the brief reason for that, for the 8, is for adequate staffing, which would be a minimum of 5 personnel per shift, because at any time we can have 3 people off on shift due to what we call Kelly days, or the earned time off, or vacation days, those kind of things throughout the staffing. With that, that gives us basically an opportunity to, or the ability to, staff 2 on the ambulance and then 3 on the fire truck. That way the fire truck's got staffing 24/7, and we can at least staff an ambulance 24/7. Those other 3 people that staff the fire truck cross-staff any other ambulance calls.
Okay. All right, cool.
So I've got more, but I can definitely assist with that at the next meeting,
At the next meeting.
what
Yep.
you'd like.
Okay, cool.
Okay?
So I guess me personally, I would like to see those 3 positions still stay open and at least work towards filling them. Obviously, it's not going to be, someone's going to walk in tomorrow and we hire them the next day. But yes, you know, the community was promised this, the fire department was promised this. I think we need to follow through on that. But at the same time, you know, with these new positions, is this going to help with the overtime hours that are being registered?
Overall, I believe yes.
Okay.
Well,
Okay.
So your goal,
I wanted, thank you, thanks, Dave. Thank you, Brandon. I want to add that the goal and intention was to get to that 24 full-time paramedic firefighters. Before we tried to do a patch job with the full-time, permanent part-time rather, but the goal is to get to number 24, and I believe that would be it. And I'm thinking the permanent part-times would be dropping off. And correct me if I'm wrong, Brandon, but that's my understanding of it.
Gabe, that was my understanding as well.
Could he repeat that real quick?
That was my understanding as well.
Which was, I'm sorry.
That some of the permanent part-time would be dropping off once you've fully staffed the fire department.
Yes, we're continually looking at the part-time situation. We're actually down to 16 people in our part-time roster, and we have some ideas moving forward with that, but it is still my recommendation to keep part-time personnel, but how that looks going forward, we want to look at some shift changes and things like that.
Yeah, and I understand you have positions, sick time, overtime. I get all that, so I know you're doing a juggling act while still working towards that goal. I just wanted to clarify that. Thank you.
Okay, cool.
Did you have anything else? Sorry.
Nothing for you? No.
Okay,
Thank you.
just double check.
All right, so at this point, and again, looking for help here, guys. So when it comes to, you know, accepting the recommendations, so do we need to have one more meeting of the finance committee to approve everything, and then we could take it to, again, like you mentioned earlier, maybe doing a community of the whole, for the whole council to hear the budget and approve everything, so we don't have a 3-hour meeting at our next city council meeting?
I think that would be up to you. I mean, from what I've heard here today, there's no changes. Is that correct? I didn't hear any changes.
No, just clarifications, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I did change the 3 vacant firefighter positions to essentially not open until the fourth quarter, until we could hammer some things out. So there's 3 positions, basically 8 pays, so open.
So I
Well,
guess,
Dave,
oh, go ahead, Gabe.
thank you. We've already, I think we've discussed everything. I think we're in agreement with everything. What would be wrong, if Alan, you're there, you can answer this, would we be okay to make these recommendations to council, or is there a missing piece that maybe I didn't hear yet that we need to have before we recommend to council the budget?
I mean, that's up to the committee if you want further input on the budget, but if you're satisfied with everything, you can make a motion now and be
Okay.
done with this part of it.
Well, I'm personally satisfied with what's we've been walking through this pretty well for the last 2, 3, 4 weeks. But Dave, if you feel we want to revisit it with committee of the whole meeting, that's fine too. Whatever your pleasure. I just want to make sure I wasn't missing something here.
Oh, okay, so we have a thought from our mayor. Right. So, all right. So again, I think I'm personally satisfied with everything.
So I'll recommend that this be approved to council.
I'll second. Let's call the roll.
Barrow,
Barrow?
Yes.
Gonzalez,
Yes.
Popplemeyer.
Yes. All right.
Also with the note of, like, Madam Mayor said that to send this out to council, you have to get the minutes together so that we get their input and then it's ready for me, the whole, if we go over it, if they have anything they want to.
Right, yeah, they can ask us.
Yeah.
Or
in
financing trigger. Well, yeah, I know, yes, okay.
Yeah.
And I did send the email out to everybody this afternoon, so they do have the summary in my narrative.
Okay, cool. All right. So that was another hour and 5 minutes of fun. Can I get a motion to adjourn?
I'll motion to adjourn.
And
I'll second that.
All right.
Barrow,
Yes.
Gonzalez,
Yes.
Popplemeyer.
Yes. All right. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you. Thanks, Casey. for
Dave's getting another call.